And I'm like, "God damn it," and there's no passing zones throughout this whole thing, so I'm just instead of taking 45 minutes to get home, it took me an hour and 50 minutes to get home from where the last spot was. like, I don't think I shared the picture of the R1 in my car outside. I'll just share that one too. But they had like 3 motorcycles. They had a Repsol. They had a just a pretty basic R1, and then something else. I can't remember what the other bike was. It was a Kawasaki Zukan. And I was bummed that I missed that R8. At least I got the butt end to say at least I saw one today. And I saw a Ferrari. I don't know what type it was. We were going so quick through a canyon, it just blitzed by. I'm like, that's Ferrari.
Yeah. Glad you went. I know you went.
Yeah, me too. And it was one of those, like, and I was telling Fluffy this earlier, like, halfway there this morning, I was having the worst stomach ache. And it just kind of gives you that mood of, like, should I even really do this right now? Like, I'm really not feeling the greatest. And I'm just like, oh, and so, you know, it took 45 minutes alone just to get to the first meetup. So it's one of those, like,
just got to power through.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
always
thought that
ends up
too.
being worth it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I know. And then where we stopped at was this gas station, and it's at the base of the Ocoee, like I told you about, and showed you some shots of. And then from there, we drove about an hour to Bridge Moto. And what's cool is in that photo that I sent you guys of the map, and I wish I zoomed it out to show the trail itself, but where that's at is the highest point in Georgia that you can go to. So it's a really cool location, like way up in the mountains of Georgia. Like, it's kind of cool, like, and it's just little sweeping switchback type, you know, trails and all that stuff getting up there. And then
Trails or like, oh, okay.
or you know what I mean, like canyon trails, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, take your STI off road and.
Yeah, no, but it sounded like.
I have, but
Trail.
yeah, but not like super crazy off-road, more like they're building this huge like construction area. They did like a whole like dirt paved hill road, and when they weren't there, I was just like, fuck it, we're mobbing off road. Like, where do we go? Drove up there where all like the construction trucks go and all that stuff. It was kind of funny. But no, we did that. It got to, like I said, to Bridge Moto. And then from there, we drove like 2.5 hours down the whole Blood Dragon Trail. And that was the one that's in the picture. And that's once I got my gloves now, too. So it's just like, dude, what perfect timing to hit these awesome trails with better grip, you know, now. So this is nice. And we fly through this whole thing, then stop and eat lunch. And then we drive another hour to get back to our last meetup at the Ocoee. And then I got driving. It was supposed to be 55 minutes to get home. Got stuck behind a cement truck doing 20, so it took me an hour and 50 to get fucking home where I was, because there's no passing points.
At least you're out in your car. Like,
Oh yeah, I was just saying.
at least you were doing fun shit. So I'm jealous.
Yeah.
You're out doing cool ass shit.
But no, it was a good day, and I have to say, like, and I told Fluffy this too. It sounds dramatic, but that was the bucket list drive so far. That was
Good.
the coolest trail or canyon road I've done. And us doing, you know, this huge group, the Hyper Blue, the RA, like all of us together, just blasting this at like 80, 90 miles an hour and a 25. You know, like just going. But it was fun. It was a good.
Yeah, it's good. Glad you went.
Yeah, same. And then on the way home, I got a Reuben and a Philly cheesesteak. So.
Nice. Sounds like an alright day.
Yeah.
Except for the very beginning. I was in misery this
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
So, how did graduation go?
Good. It was hot, dude. I had one guy collapse from exhaustion.
Oh, wow.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know how it is. I never explain how brutal certain things are. You know,
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
but it's gnarly, dude. It's a small team of everybody on my crew, and we go, and it's like specific
Punishing.
like grounds and maintenance guys, and it's only a crew of like 7 of us that put on this event, or 6 of us that put on this event, and it's just, you know,
Constant work. Yeah.
11 and a half hours of hard physical labor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like we're putting together and building a stage and ramps, and, you know, lugging thousands of chairs and
And taking it all
instruments,
down
and
afterwards.
like, taking it all back down after. like anything else, there's always more to it than people think. You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
like
just
people just
brutal.
show up
And
and it's all set up, but being the guys who have to
Yeah.
do the setting up.
Yeah, and what makes it hard is like we had to stage all the stuff, so just getting it down there like Friday and all that, and this is just like the end of the week, and right? I don't know. Like when I said I could barely walk, I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating.
bet.
But like I had to hobble into my office, and I didn't know if it was a good idea for me to even get on my computer because I'm just like, yeah. But
You able to take tomorrow off, or do you have to?
I'm sure you're gonna get to it, man. We're at the busiest time of my entire year. That's right now. Today was the busiest day of my entire year. This week is all the last events, promotions for all the other grades and setting up risers and chairs and big district events for all the staff and it's just that time of year for me. This is
I get it.
This is the peak.
It sucks.
Yeah, but we're killing it. So it's like we're all exhausted and stuff, but everything went off.
you're getting it
like
done.
today, went off perfect. Yeah.
Nice, and that's good to hear. That's really good to
Yep.
hear.
Yeah. Never. This is my 12th one, and we've never once that I've led, and we've never once had an issue.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Work stuff, whatever. It's not an exciting thing but it's
It's
a lot,
still the
you know,
older we
it's-
get, adulting
it's a
is
big
always
event.
interesting. Yeah. Just hearing the parameters of everything because you work a pretty unique job. So.
Yeah, plus anything that you put that much work into, it's nice when it goes well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's like we can all go home, and it's like yeah, it was like 80 today, which is
Oh.
super hot for us, It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Of course.
80, and it's just so humid here, or not humid, sorry, so dry here that it's like it's an interesting type of heat where it's just like we're all sunburnt.
It makes me think of California kind of though, because it's
Yeah,
such
totally.
dry heat out there. You know what I mean? But then it's like here, I was just telling Fluffy and Melissa's over at Granny's house today because there's some family from Alabama's up here, and it's
Is this the race?
Yeah, it's the race.
Oh, there's actually a race. Oh, I thought it was qualifying. Okay, good luck. Dude.
No, no, I already finished qualifying.
Nice start.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already good.
He's
Start. I
done.
was gonna say, but it's like 87 right now with like 80 to 90% humidity. Like it's insanely muggy and gross out here.
That sounds rough. That's where it's like
But
I'd
it was
rather
nice
have
being
drive
up in the
than
mountains. Well, yeah, but it's just like I got lucky because where we were, it got all the way down to like 72. So it was like beautiful weather out there.
the group that I've recently connected with, that dude that has the Scuderia, and
Uh-huh,
the guy
yeah.
with the STO and all that, they had a big drive planned today. It was kind of a bummer to not go with them because of the
Yeah, because of
Work.
the event. Yeah.
it's like the one Sunday a year, for the most part, that I have to work. And they planned a really sweet drive. They went to the Stanley Hotel, which is where they filmed, where they filmed like the outside shots for the Shining.
Oh yeah.
It's in Estes Park. It's just a beautiful location. Really good drive, and it was like Scuderia, R8, bunch of Supras,
STO.
bunch
yeah,
of
all the-
Porsches, and an STO. So it's some pretty sick cars, honestly. And there's some good dudes.
If I post up in our Discord, is it gonna bother you, Fluffy, or are you gonna be good?
No, that should be fine.
Okay, just making sure. I don't want to distract you like too much if you hear it in the background. or whatever.
If you have multiple pictures to post, do it all at once. But
I'm trying to. Yeah,
No,
yeah. That one,
but
that
otherwise
one
I'm good.
accidentally sent.
That's
I didn't
okay.
mean to send it. Let's see what all I sent to you guys already. What am I have? But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like all of us buy gloves while we were there, like just to kind of support the guys.
Yeah, good support, but hilarious. You guys are going to be driving the STOs.
It is what it is.
has to be said. I try to not hate too much on different things in car culture. People like Williams driving their normal cars. I was just listening to a podcast where they were talking about that. And they're like, the only way it's acceptable is if you drive an old car with a wood steering wheel.
Yeah, I can see that too. There we go. That's the last time I posted anything. It's just the rest of the photos I have. So. that was where we had lunch though. Yellow, this really beautiful like back patio location that was just like looking out this lake and just I don't know, it's like super quiet, like one of the most like scenic, quiet, like you know you could hear for miles. It seemed like it was just quiet. It's cool.
How do you feel with this group, with like Melissa out there, that kind of thing, where it's just?
She has no interest.
I know that.
She doesn't-
I'm just.
yeah.
I'm saying for you, like, how do you feel? Like just fitting in, and do you feel awkward, or
I
because they know
feel
each
very
other and stuff,
accepted.
or- Good.
And that's
Awesome,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah,
I've had
like,
car clubs
it's-
that I've done drives with where they're like, you know, you're just kind of like they've all known each other for 20 years.
Yep. And that's the cool thing about these guys. A
guy.
couple of them have known each other forever, but then it's like me the first time I ever went there, they're just like, hey, you know, how are you? It's like, tell me all about your car. It's like, you know, let's get to know you as a person. And as I told you before, Amy, the girl that runs it, she was like, look, she's like, I don't mean it this in a mean way. She goes, we literally like almost test everybody we bring out
of
on our
course.
drives. And she's like, we don't want anybody that doesn't fit our group. And she was like, that's the reason why I'm still sending you messages about when you go. And she was like, so you're 100% part of the group.
For me, a couple times it's been like everyone's great when you're standing around talking, chit chatting, talking cars, but then when you're at like lunch and the groups are all sitting together and you're like, I don't really know where, like, who I should, you know.
Yeah,
Those are the
that was
moments
cool
where I've had
about-
them been awkward.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was what's cool about that lunch is we were literally having conversations across all tables, like everybody was included, like just chatting about just everything, and then, you know, like everybody has kind of like some inside jokes and other stuff, but it's just like it's just everybody's like included, and the best part is that nobody's too serious. Like we all take everything as like a joke, and it's just you know. I mean, car stuff though. Actually, this is kind of interesting, and I was curious about your thoughts on it. Will with his Type RA, he's got 20mm spacers on his, and he was showing me the gap of the fender gap that he has and everything else. He goes, the only thing I'm going to warn you, he goes, 25s up front have a high chance of rubbing. He's like,
Yeah, that's what I asked you. You said that.
well, it said it's not supposed to. He goes, but he was like, my personal attempts with it. He goes, but he goes, I have an idea. He goes, why don't we? He's like, it's up to you, because he has parents on his too. He goes, why don't we do yours front 20s? I'll give you 2 of my 20s. You give me 2 of your 25s. We do your 25s front 20s. Because that way you get a little bit wider back end, but a little tighter front end, so you don't have to worry about rubbing. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a really smart idea. I might do that. So I just don't know how the car will feel with the different spacing, but he said that it shouldn't make any effect whatsoever.
I mean, it's such a small difference, but you are going to have a wider track in one direction, right? So if you just do your rears, it's like to have a wider track in the rear. I'm not sure that's going to be super helpful. It's just going to potentially give you less grip in the front, which could increase understeer.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's already an understeery car. It's like, to me, you want to do everything you can to try to get rid of understeer. So just something to consider. I don't know.
I forgot to mention that one of our guys hit the guardrail slightly today, like kind of tinked
Jesus.
it around one of the corners because he broke it loose around the corner. Like when we kept telling this guy, and it's only the second time I've ever driven with these guys, but he still has the stock original tires on his car, and he's pushing almost wow, that was close. And he's pushing like 500 horsepower, and we're like, dude, like, why are you still running like the stalkers? I don't even tell them. It's like I mentioned you all the time on this. It's like a friend of mine twisted my arm in a way. I'm like, dude, you all understand tires. And I told him, I was like, you have that confidence and grip and everything. He's like, yeah. It's like, I might need to finally do it. I love how Will, the guy
Best mod there is, tires.
Yeah, the guy that runs like the group with Amy, he goes, yeah, and he goes, how many times have I smacked you in the head and said, hey, you bought a $2,500 turbo? Why don't you buy $400 in tires or something? Like, you know, it's just like.
So many people do that, though, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's so easy just to throw money at something. And be like, hey,
I
go
just want power. Really? You should go do a
I want
drive.
no grip.
Spend that money on learning how to drive.
Looks like the leader is just gone.
Oh yeah, that's breezy again.
Oh, is it okay? Is Scooby racing or?
Scooby did the 250 class.
Gotcha.
I think I didn't see a second moto, but I think he got 6th maybe in the first moto, something like that.
Nice. Was this your only race tonight, or are you doing one?
There's another one afterwards, the Searle MXGP series.
Yeah. And sorry about bailing last night without saying anything at the end. I was just so
it's all good,
tired and know how to be up early.
I totally get it. No worries.
But like I said, Yellow, Abigail, pretty fun movie. it's one I would recommend watching. So.
Yeah, I've added it to my watch list because I think it's on HBO. What's it on?
I found a
Maybe
bootleg
it's-
of it. Yeah, it's
maybe
$20 to rent anywhere, but I found a bootleg. So yeah, I mean it was a good copy though, but it's just one of those like because it's on like YouTube and everything else, and people just like screen capped it, and uploaded it. So but it's I'm not gonna say anything about the story. It just goes different than you expect, and I liked that about it. So. And of course, it's got Gus Fring in it, so you gotta love it.
Yeah. What's his name? Giancarlo Esposito? Is that?
Yeah, that's Vizito, yeah.
I know Esposito is Giancarlo.
Yeah, yep, it's
I think- yeah.
Giancarlo, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny to listen to him outside of any of his roles, how different like his voice is.
He seems like a pretty smart dude. Just his voice makes him seem pretty smart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
kind of like Neil Tyson deGrasse or whatever, or is it Neil
DeGrasse Tyson.
DeGrasse. Okay, yeah, but he's just always like so just intelligent sounding. Like yeah, he has a vast full of knowledge, but just the way he talks, he's so.
I really like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I do find him to be like super pretentious though.
Dude,
He
when
kind
he
of
was on
is.
Rogan. It was a handful of years ago. He kind of made himself look like a pain in the ass. Just asshole. Like he argued too much. You know how it's like one of those where if you're on that platform
Yeah,
and
you should
he
agree with a
does-
couple of things. Don't combat everything.
yeah, it's like, and he was probably just being himself and whatnot, just
Yeah.
bullshitting, and it's like, dude, that's too big of a platform to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think he lost some fans on that one.
But also, I
pretty
also
rough.
find Joe Rogan to be a huge dumbass. Personally,
What makes you say that?
I feel like
I don't.
he's.
I wouldn't say he's not. I wouldn't say he's amazing. But
I feel
I
like
think once you
he
listen to
speaks
thousands of
very
hours-
confidently on things that he has no idea what actually.
That is very
Like
true.
what
I
knows
can agree
about.
with that one. Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah, he just
I
he
think
has,
if you-
and then he'll mention something like, "Oh, I didn't know that's actually how it is," and it's like, but why
it's
did
not.
you talk about it like it's already correct? Like you know what I mean?
And
Like
I think because like I listened to all of them from the beginning. I stopped listening to them now because of just time. But the I think if you listen to it's thousands and thousands of hours of it, it's like you get to know him a little more, and then
Sure.
you realize like, oh, he's very open about like his lack of knowledge on topics.
Mm.
But if you watch clips, it can
Yeah, that's a
be
good point. I
rough.
guess that's fair.
But it's like that with anything like that. Like it's what's so hard with the internet. It's like
Yeah. It's like the internet is so huge, and especially the people that are so present in it have so much out there that it's tough to really gain a full picture of what they're like just from your average day to day. And if you're not interacting with everything that they put out.
yeah, exactly. Especially something where there's just so many hours,
Mhm.
however many hours of like radio he's done, basically. It's like, oh my God. You just drop third place, huh?
Yeah,
Just out here riding by yourself again.
I can. I know, and I'm pretty sure Ghost is pretty quick too, but I guess he's not maybe not consistent on the 450.
How do you feel on the 450 right now? Just in
Right
general?
now, I feel earlier today. It's like every single time I jump on it, the beginning of the day, not so great and like not consistent, and then by the time the races come around, like right now, I feel really consistent on it. Like I'm able to just be, well, and of course it helps that I'm not in traffic. I'm literally all by myself, but I feel like I'm really able to chill and just roll,
Yeah.
not roll around, but like
Use the power to just
Yeah.
kind of go up a good pace. How do you feel your pace is overall? Because I think that's obviously I'm at such a lower level, but the one thing I'm always concerned about is now after riding the 250 so much, like you hop on the 450 and you feel like you're getting around pretty good, but am I really maximizing the bike? Or am I just
Right,
kind of
right.
like hitting the lines and using the power to get like what's my pace actually versus the potential of really how you
Yeah.
should be just ripping on this thing?
I think the ceiling for the 450 is so high because they're like the top guys like Breezy and Linz and those kind of guys. They can ride the 450 like we can ride the 250,
Yeah, for sure.
and those people excluded, I feel like my pace is pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you look good.
yeah, thank you. Like as a whole, people who ride the 450, like you just have to be more smooth anyway,
Yeah, totally.
and so you don't necessarily have to be able to pin it 24/7 in order to have good pace in the race. And also, Timson, thanks for following, dude. But yeah, I feel like I have pretty decent pace on it. Actually, I ended up being only like 5 seconds off of Breezy in qualifying. I hit my best lap in qualifying, and I thought that was kind of cool to be only 5 seconds off of this guy. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's like the 450. It's like if you can hit every line just perfect and roll that throttle on for like as early as possible but smooth. It's like what a cool thing.
It feels good, man. Like really, like you said, drawing the right line through a corner, getting on the power early, it's so satisfying.
First one you ever tried 450 stuff.
I know, seriously.
250 is really fun, but to go really fast and compete, you just have to. You have to be so perfect, like tapped everywhere, the perfect line, the perfect. I don't know. It just seems like the pace is so high.
The pace is well. It's because so many people prefer it. That's why the pace is so
That's
high. Because
true.
the pool of riders is giant.
And it's like the 450 is so much better than it used to be. You know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Seems like people still don't really give this 450 a chance. And it's like it's so good.
I think they're afraid of it. I think so many people find the 250 like they feel faster on the 250 because they can just throw it around. And I think people are afraid of not having that same feeling on the 450.
It's like the 450, you really don't feel like you're going as fast on the
Yeah,
450.
definitely not.
But there's those moments where you're just ripping out of a corner and like the front end's just barely coming up,
Yeah.
and it's just so sick, and you're having to just like, you know, move like your throttle finger like lift off like a 32nd of an inch just to try
Yeah.
to like, you know, control it perfectly. It's
For
so
sure.
cool.
Like I love the fact that I'm not often, well, I guess maybe not often, but like frequently not 100% pulling the throttle back. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Just more finesse, like instead of just hit the right line and just pinned.
Yeah,
You don't even have to feather the throttle on the 250 really.
not at all.
It's just like get the right line and just mash it.
One thing I was gonna say real quick, yellow as well before I forget about it. And I'm done talking about my drive today. It's just
You don't have to be
brain
done.
fried. But that Eagle talent that was there thing is immaculate, dude. He spent 25 grand to get it to where it is right now, and he's just like, I threw so much into this to make it a good daily, and I was like, dude, like my Eclipse like was the worst project I ever had. My first one was awesome. Never had an issue with it. The second one that I bought when I was out here, it was just like I could never get it tuned correctly, or it never ran right, like ever. I swear, it was so frustrating. But yeah, his was a beast.
Oh, by the way, guys, I figured out the fancy way to have music playing on the stream but not show up on the VOD, so it's not copyright problems.
That's
So
cool.
I'm listening to music too. I think that'll help me stay sane and not want to off myself if I'm having a bad race.
I mean, I couldn't go that far. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe that's a stretch. I'll probably still want to, but
Me with like this type of stuff, I can't listen to music. For how my brain works, it's like I
yeah.
have to,
No,
You have to be full focus mode.
yeah, weird.
I've found out, especially for Moto, just talking with me a lot of these races, that I need just a little bit of distraction. Like I have to be able to hear the bike properly, and like, because I'm, where to shift and how fast I'm going, whatever. But if I'm 100% focused, I'm not 100% focused. Like I can't.
Yeah, I make
I
more
can't.
mistakes when I'm too locked in. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
mine.
It's like I physically cannot actually 100% focus on one thing at a time, and so I find other things to get distracted by, not on purpose, but like if I have two things going on, then I can be mostly focused on both of those things instead of mostly focused on one and then completely gone on the other, on anything
I remember
else.
I blew Yellow's mind when I told him that I literally can't play iRacing without music. Like
Yeah, that's
I,
crazy. That one
Yeah,
I'll say is crazy.
But I don't know. Like I guess I've always just been scatterbrained in the way that like I mean even in the dumb way of like when I used to play MX Sim and I'd be in the middle like that race that I won. I'm still chatting with chat. I'm reading chat as
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
racing because I can't. Like my mind just goes into this like lockup mode if I just focus 100%. Like I have to have some distraction.
The same with
I
like
think it's
when I'm driving a
ADHD
car.
with me.
Yeah, if I'm driving a car spiritedly, like there will be no music.
Yeah.
I need to hear every tiny little thing of the tire losing traction or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that makes extra sense because you're like physically in danger.
Yeah.
There's no reset button. So.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a 4X, it's like a buck.
Yeah. And I think for me, I actually prefer it to like it's, even if I could focus on both or whatever,
Yeah.
I still wouldn't want to because it's like I enjoy the like just full immersion.
Yeah,
Of course.
I get that.
That's how my that's how my mind works. And I just kind of carry that over into this stuff if I'm treating it serious. I could listen if I'm just chilling, but if I'm like in a race, it's like all right, turn everything down. It's almost like you drive your car and it's a blizzard. It's like all right, I'm not gonna listen to music, so I can just focus a little.
And the harder I try to focus on one thing typically is when the little distractions get that much more distracting.
Yeah.
So if I have like an on-purpose little distraction of this music, then I'm fucking sitting pretty.
You are so far by yourself right now.
I know, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
One thing that was kind of cool today, I forgot to mention this part, is while we're driving, I'll have to pull my dash cam to see if I got a decent view of it. But the Boxer event was happening in Tail of the Dragon this weekend. And as we're driving, like a group of probably 12 to 15 Porsches all went flying by as a group, and it was kind of cool to pass by them on the opposite direction. Everybody in their motorcycle, of course. I mean, we probably saw 300-400 motorcycles today. It's insane. But like it was just like the first nice day of getting the summer and everybody just go out and go to the mountains and get some nice riding in. And it's rained like all week, so.
Got on to play something, but I've just been staring at Fletcher's.
Do that so much.
Like it's because I'm tired. So I'm just like zoned into his thing, talking.
Oh, I'm glad it's entertaining.
You know how it is. It's like
Oh, we never said it was entertaining. We're just
Ah, you bastard.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just while I'm staring at. I'm like.
It's
I
like a
think
train wreck, you can't look away.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. No, but you know how it is. Like just the flow of this game.
Oh yeah, I get you.
It's fun to watch sometimes, where it's just like just cranking
that
those
was
laps
sweet.
out.
The rut that I just like slammed into, that was fucking sick.
Honestly, this track is not that bad.
It's not. like since we raced it on the factory bikes, I've actually really liked
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like one of those other ones where you first time you play it, you're like, screw this track.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it has any character and stuff. It's just like flat, looks the same, but it rides pretty good. It's kind of a nice flow.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising, but I definitely agree about how it rides well.
I hate this on a 250. You gotta nail that corner perfect.
Yeah, that quad.
Yeah.
This you can triple on the 450.
Really?
I've gotten like so close to. I haven't landed it yet, but I've gotten like
Just
literally
outside.
landing it. Even on the inside, I think you get a better angle on it just from that regular inside rut. But if you like absolutely hit it perfectly.
Huh.
But like I said, I've bounced off like the very top of it. Like if I were 2 feet further, I probably would have it would have counted as landing it, even if casing it. But I didn't really even case it. I just completely framed it.
Another thing really quick. We talked about pet peeves in driving. One of the guys that randomly met up with us, and he wasn't a part of a crew. He showed up at the that moto place we're at, and he asked what like our plan was as a group. We're like, oh, I'm about to go for a spirited drive, you know, and it's just like, you want to join us? And it's like, yeah, you know, because you know, it's City Subaru's influence. Like that's why we include everybody. Like. But mostly a super group. But yeah, he was just like, all right, dude, yeah, I got it. I'll bomb the blood trail with you guys. And we're like, all right. And we're just cruising, going along, whatever. And he's like 5th in line, right? I mean, we started with 12 of us for the whole day, and then dropped down to like 9 for the trip, and had him join up on us. And then that I don't think I sent a picture, but a random brand new WRX. Oh, but a random brand new WRX like stopped, and he was just like, I just got my car. He's like, are you guys a club? And he was like super nice older dude. We're like, yeah, it's like here, like business cards, and he joined our crew and stuff like online just to check it out. He's like, oh, I didn't need to go to the next one, and joined us for a little bit of a trip. And this guy on this motorcycle, like, he's one of those people that have no fear. Like, this guy was just insane going to the canyon. And then at one point, he just gives me the biggest, like chakra, bro, and peace sign, and then just passes the whole crew in the other lane to, like, 5-car group that he passed.
Over double yellows?
Yeah. Like, gone.
Out of the crew in a second.
Well, he's not a part of our crew. He just joined us. Yeah, like, it was
Did
just
you
like...
give him a car?
No, we didn't. No, he literally joined us right as we were about to leave. So it was just one of those, like, yeah, it's like, come on, like, you know, go on a drive with us. And the guy just, like, goes around, like, everybody. And even Will, the guy with the Type RA that was leading the pack, he put his hand out the window, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what was that? Like, it was just very, and especially where it was and stuff with blind corners coming up, dude, that's such a dangerous, dumb move. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna kill somebody. Don't be a piece of shit.
or yourself, like, and make that
Gives a
person
fuck
feel
if he kills
terrible.
himself,
Well, it's
but-
one of those that it makes, like, imagine that person has to live with it. You know what I mean? That's the other side I was thinking it too.
No, I agree, but like, you know,
But yeah, he's gonna kill
else.
somebody by going through the windshield or something. Yeah, it's insane.
piece of shit.
But I know we were all so mad about that. We chatted about it later. We're just like, dude, like, what was that? And it's one of those too. If you want to just leave the group and do your own thing, that's fine. But don't pass 5 people over double yellow. Like,
Yeah, don't cross the WL ever.
yeah. Good job on your second there, bud.
Thank you.
Crazy that there's only 7 people in this crew.
Yeah, and 3 of them left.
Dang, I
they're
wish I
they're
could
considering
raise those.
just running Moto 1 as double points and not doing Moto 2.
I wouldn't
So
blame
it's- yeah, I wouldn't either. I would love to race, but I wouldn't blame them.
Oh, one thing that is kind of cool about our group too is that every one of us has a different WRX in that way. You know what I mean? It's like we have like one that's super plain, just black WRX. Then you get the Type RA, the Hyper Blue, and the S209, and then mine, and like it's just everybody's in something different, and it's kind of cool. But they're all still STIs in that way. But
Yeah.
and then of course Amy and our freaking insane BRZ, dude, taking a ride in that was so much fun.
Oops.
Cars are pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they're nothing like crazy, just hypercars, supercars, but man, if it's something to have fun in, then that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
my day. So, yeah.
Agreed.
And the amount of like waves, thumbs up, and like it was kind of crazy how many people were like giving us props, like as we driving around and stuff. Like even bikers were giving us waves and stuff. Oh, and I was telling Folky this earlier, but not you because you weren't on yet. We got lucky in the way that we had every single time we got behind somebody on the canyon trail, they pulled off to let us by.
Yeah.
And that's super rare when that happens out here. And even Will, like the guy, he was like, I don't think in the 10 times I've been through here, I've ever had one person pull over. So
It
let me
helps when
through.
you're in
A group,
Like, you
yeah.
see it's like, oh, they got something going on. And just pull over. But some people are just blind to it.
It's just so funny how far you can just OJ and just like, I'm good.
Yeah, I know.
As long as you do that rear tire landing.
Yeah, seriously.
It's its own little art, but
No, it is.
Yeah,
and I remember
you definitely
and I
have
were
to like
talking
know
about
how to
takes
do
time
it.
to learn
but-
it.
yeah. I remember when you first got back into playing.
Yeah.
And
And I
it
was
was like
like,
you were
how do you
struggling with it
Yeah,
and watching
yeah.
people, and it's like because it is just front end up, lean forward, full throttle, but it's like you kind of gotta.
And
know
you
that
gotta like
finesse it.
you gotta finesse the weight shift a little bit as you're coming down.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things you would eventually figure out, because that was my struggle too, and I'm like, this is so stupid, and eventually it just clicked, and it was
Yeah.
no longer a problem.
It just becomes second nature eventually because you do it so much.
Yeah, that triple's probably not that hard. Yeah, hit that.
Oh, it's
I guess
easy as
the-
hell.
The landing's just super.
It's easy as hell. It's just I'm not convinced it's all that much faster. It's like a couple of tenths maybe, so I don't even bother with it.
Yeah. It's just is that landing easy to hit? Not too bad.
But
Yeah, because then you have to just like launch the second one.
yeah, and it's goofy too, so I don't love that about it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Another 44 points. Keep them a points lead.
They're not running the second one.
Nah, they're just double points it.